All right. Hi. So we have some news for you, and I'm making kind of an addendum to the last video I did, but Fender, the rumors is that Fender is under new owners. And they're not necessarily new owners, but they are owned by two investment firms, and one of them sold to the other one. And Servco is the people that originally put together the loan when Schultz bought the company, and that's a good thing. So they bought out the other company. What were they called? TPG Investments. No longer own Fender. This, my friends, is a good thing. It's good news. It just goes to one owner, and Servco was the financial source behind the Bill Schultz buyout of Fender, and that was probably one of the greatest moments when Bill Schultz bought Fender back away from CBS. So all good news. You guys know also that in January of 2019, Fender officially owns Gretch and officially owns the Bigsby name. That was a leased thing they did, so now Fender and Gretch are kind of one and the same. So, because of that, we brought out this 54 Strat. Actually, this is for sale. This is a real 5.4 Strat, born in 1954. The first ever Strats were 54. They were designed mid-year 54, and this is dated October 54. That's the first time they came out. These are the most desirable ones from October. There is a fistful of prototypical Strats before that, but this is a 54 Strat. The thing that's cool on a 54 Strat, well, there's lots of things that's cool on a 54 Strat. The body cut, the synchronized tremolo, the arm cutaway, all made it very organic, ergonomic. Also the way the pickups are. There's three pickups, and these pickups have magnetic fields. The way it works on Strats is that on these old three-ways you could balance it between the two pickups and get two pickups at a time. They're magnetic fields. If the pickups are wound exactly the same, they have this really sweet out-of-phase sound. And if you overwind one of the pickups, you're going to have it just not the same thing. The magnetic fields and how they react to each other is really about the pickup being balanced. I always say a Strat is really a one pickup guitar with three coils all being the same, and you're kind of balancing between the sounds. So that brings me back to this other video that we did earlier, and everybody kind of wrote to us and said, you know, in letters and put a stamp on it, and they said the Nash Katar really sounds a lot better. And you know, the Nash Katar and the Lawler pickups are louder. That's not necessarily better. These Nash Katars, we special order these. They take about 90 days. So if you need a Nash Katar, any color you can dream of. We could put color over color. So you could put black on the base coat, any color first, another color over. They all come kind of in different levels of aging, but they'll all be dinged up in age. For $150 extra, you can have one that isn't dinged up. Yeah, they charge extra for not dinging it up. Go figure. Back of the necks are always sanded out, so it feels really satiny. It feels like an old 54 Strat. They always come with the same nice round necks. They all come with Lawler pickups. I think there's a DiMarzio option too, but as we said in the video before, and go back and look it up, they have tall frets, and these are great guitars. The pickups are a little louder. Now, I was talking with some friends at Paul Reed Smith. A friend of mine, Michael Kay, works for John Mayer in the band and works along with Renee, who's John Mayer's tech. And they went through great lengths to get this guitar to sound like an old Strat. John, who's a customer of Willie's, is a brilliant musician and a big star. He's not a pop star. He's actually a brilliant musician who's a big star. And he worked in every dynamic. The shape of the headstock, the way the headstock cuts away, the shape of the neck. This neck at 1 11/16 at the nut is patterned after his 63 Strat. And again, with this guitar too, you have these three pickups that are exactly the same. So their interaction to each other, because of this equal magnetic field and how they are in between, is part of the sound of these. They are a little lighter output, but what that means is even this jack plate has been thought out, so it's a much easier jack plate. What that means is for these, that sweet out of phase sound neck pickup is a real bell-like tone that comes from pre-CBS Strats. It's not about high gain at that point. It's about being replicating the sound and getting it like a high fidelity sound. That's what these do. These are really well made. What my friend Michael Kay, who used to work for John, said is that they sent so many necks back and forth until it was right. John was extremely fussy on everything to make sure it was perfect and it really represented. Look up a video of John Mayer playing the Silver Skies and you can see him just... I can't ever do justice to John's playing, but John just kills it on these things. He's using them live, and he was involved in every dynamic of this guitar. Hi, fellas, come on in. Including the pickups, which they replicated from his 63 pickup. I think they actually call these S63s. The shape of the neck, the type of maple they use, the type of rosewood they use, the type of frets they use. And like Fender's, it is a 7.5 radius, which means it's more curved. If you relax your hand, it's kind of in a curved pattern here, so it's real comfortable to play. So these Paul Reed Smiths are not supposed to be super high output. It's supposed to recapture the high fidelity sound of the originals. And then lastly, we were talking about this. Now Fender, the old Fender, has done where they've flattened out the board. These 50s reissues are bigger necks. They're a flatter radius, so they're less curved. They're flattened out more, so you can bend them better. And then they still have the staggered height magnets. And yes, the Nash Katar has higher output pickups, and you heard that from the last video. Go back and check that. This is kind of an addendum to that video. So there we go. Big news about Fender, though. This is good. They were bought. The old company's gone. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Long live the witch. Fender. Well, you know what I meant.